Hey everybody, I'd like to show you two tools that you can use to improve student assessment. I tried to choose two tools that wouldn't require much more habit changing from what we already do. It can be challenging to learn something new, especially if it requires us to rework our content. Plus, let's go to the Quality Plus teaching strategies for a second. We know that in Gwinnett County, we are concerned as teachers with this assessment and feedback piece, literacy, and student goal setting. So I started to wonder what tools out there for assessment could give us, by way of technology, all of these research-based strategies that are good for learning and which also served the greater aims of assessment and feedback. And these two tools came to mind. The first is Pear Deck, and it's an add-on through Google that's built to work with your Google presentations, your Google slides. I also chose Nearpod. You can upload a presentation that you already have to Nearpod and just sort of make it more powerful. So let's talk about each. First, we'll deal with Nearpod. This is an external tool for formative assessment that helps us determine how well students understand the content. What I've done here is created my own lesson, and I've uploaded a presentation that I've already designed. This is great because I know a lot of us have PowerPoints that we use in class all the time, and inserting one into Nearpod and then editing it makes your PowerPoint a little more powerful. So I'm going to go to preview here, and you'll see that I have a choice whether to make this a live lesson in the classroom or student-paced. The student-paced option is if you were going to embed this into eClass or something like that. But let's click on preview and I'll show you what this can do. So if I was doing an introduction to analysis, writing about visuals with students, I might have this PowerPoint. But then to assess whether or not the students understand the learning in Nearpod, I can ask them to draw what analysis looks like to them. Nearpod will let them browse files for an image or use Google Images, and it'll also let them draw with colored tools. I thought that was pretty neat. Then I have them practice. Here, groups can actually post responses. Farther down, the kids get a practice about how to write about analysis. Nearpod will allow open-ended questions. So you type your question in, the students enter here, and then you get to moderate which responses get shown. So as far as a feedback and assessment piece, this is great for making sure your students understand what it is they're supposed to know. Finally, when you're done with your slide, that hopefully the kids will have had enough practice in class so that they can actually exit knowing the content. Let's go to Pear Deck. Like I said, this is built to work with Google. So one of the cool things about Pear Deck is it's actually internal. We already have rights to Pear Deck through GCPS, and sharing is possible through your Team Drive account. So if you create a presentation like this, and I share it with my team members up here, then you can share the Pear Deck add-on as well. So any slide you create is also shared with your team. One of the benefits, though, is I can actually skip slides if I want to, or I can add slides that make more sense for my class. This is great for differentiation. So let's see what Pear Deck does. You can have students rate their level of understanding before you begin. You can also draw here with the tools. They can even insert videos. Anything that you can do with Google Slides, the student can do with Pear Deck. So that's great. One of the cool things about Pear Deck, though, is that it does animate images. So I kind of like it a little bit better just because if you pick a video or something, you can go ahead and embed that and it will play, whereas with Nearpod, there are some workarounds, but it's a little more challenging. So What I wanted to show you today was 2 tools about how you can embed formative assessment right into your lesson. Hopefully, you've gotten a couple ideas about how you might use Nearpod or Pear Deck in your classroom with presentations that already exist. I think the sharing thing is really cool here. It can be intimidating to learn a new tool on your own, but if you share the job with your curriculum team, maybe it'll be a little easier the first time you guys do it. Well, let me know if you guys have any questions, and I'm happy to help.